Oh, you're alive.
Just when I thought it was safe to go back in the water or
Man, you
something like that.
You kind of look a little thinner.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Nah,
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. I've been a little sick lately.
That's what I hear. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. My host over here, partner in crime, COVID again, right? Is this the second time?
Yeah. No, it's first time for me.
Oh, okay.
Kids have had it. First time for me. I thought I was impervious to pain there for a while and got slapped with some reality over the last couple of weeks.
So, yeah, you were down and out for almost 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. The worst of it was really just 2 days. But for those 2 days, I thought I was a goner. Didn't ever have to go to the hospital or anything, but like fall asleep mid-sentence. Like just
really?
could not stay awake. Fatigue was horrible.
Hmm.
Really bad congestion. And I've still got just the tiniest bit of little cough that's lingering, but tested negative multiple days ago, feeling pretty good.
Okay.
Mostly back to normal.
Wow. I'm going to thank Manland. No COVID here, buddy. Too many Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs would kill just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be in like a American medical journal. They ought to do a study on that, I think.
You just knocked down wood. We had a thing, and this is a couple months ago, but the dealer principals, I'm meeting with them, and we have 6 different rooftops. And I'm the only manager that did not have COVID yet.
No kidding.
Knock, knock, knock. Knock, 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 knock.
Well,
making sure, but no. Now, when it was in the very, very early stages, when we didn't even know what COVID was, I did come down with very minor, like, I felt like I got a bug.
Yeah.
And that could have been, COVID.
Maybe,
I don't know. But
maybe you got the original strain and made you impervious to everything else.
It couldn't demolish me, so I had to move on to the entire world population.
There you go.
So you can actually...
Oh, yeah, hold my beer.
Yeah. But, well, yeah, and it's been a while. Dean and I, with schedules and everything else like that, it's been rough.
Summers are supposed to be, like, relaxing, right? Shit, this has been anything but so far.
And I miss that. What's relaxing?
Summertime. It's supposed to be relaxing, right? Like, just time off, kicking up, no problems at all.
Yeah.
Wouldn't prove that by me. Holy shit.
We're getting ready, by the way, for our golf trip at the end of August, our Manland golf trip up to Green Lake. So last Sunday, I had a manager's golf outing for our group. Golfed at Countryside in Mundelein, Illinois.
Cool.
Traditional course. Played very well. And then I was in with Big Matt, Jake the Snake, Jake from State Farm, and
Jake
Ben.
from State Farm. Yeah, cool.
Tuesday, we're at Bittersweet for the Gurney Exchange Club. We do it every year.
Bittersweet. Isn't that place where a DJ calls you and asks for advice when you're on like tee? Keeps bugging you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I woke up Wednesday. I'm like, oh man, sore.
Yeah. After just one round.
Yeah.
Right?
My wife's like, don't you guys golf on Thursday at Kettle Hills for your golf trip?
Right.
18, Friday 18, and
Friday's 27 usually, right?
27, and then
Saturday's 36.
She goes, you're not looking good. And I was like,
she's not supposed to point shit out like that.
Yeah.
Come on, she's supposed to build you up.
No doubt. But yeah, and I'm still kind of, my back shoulder is killing me. I don't know. But
I've gotten out a couple times, but I've only played 9 both. No, I take that back. I played an executive course. It was basically a par 3, a couple par 4s thrown in. That's the only 18 that I played so far. And I played 9 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
So at least I've had the clubs out a little bit.
Right. So we're moving right along. Episode 20. We're in double digits with the 2 in front.
Yeah, no kidding. Check that out.
We're going to talk about some road trips that we've made, and then when we're kind of briefing each other about this, we're like, maybe a couple of road ticks that we should maybe forget that they
Yeah.
happen.
Well, so I've got two examples that I wanted to bring up, and they almost straddle the fence here, right? Because there are pieces of both of the trips that I'm going to mention that were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are pieces of those same trips where I'm like, God, I got to quit doing that.
And exactly, like I wouldn't trade them any of the road trips in for anything, but I could, if I could go back and do like a cut and snip some stuff out of there, I would.
Cut and paste a few things in and out of there. Yeah. The first one that came to mind, and you're going to laugh as soon as I bring it up, is a trip we took, and we've talked about it on this show before, the trip we took to state wrestling, Southern Illinois.
Some of the wrestling tournament, yeah.
Some of the best things on that trip were the DJ locking himself or locking the door and leaving the radio station playing the same Janet Jackson song for 3 days.
Yeah, we
you waking up in the middle of the night with a leg cramp, screaming to high heaven. That was hilarious.
Terrible. It was a foot cramp.
And then you waking up from some wild dream, sit up straight in the bed, smooth with the ladies, and then lay back down and go to sleep.
Yeah. I distinctly remember the foot cramp, and I know I pissed the hotel off because we were a bunch of guys going on a road trip to watch wrestling, and we didn't pack, Band-Aids or aspirin.
What could possibly go wrong? Why would you need aspirin or anything?
So I'm banging on strangers' hotel room doors at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, trying to find some fucking aspirin. Oh.
So those are some of my favorite parts of that trip. The most horrific part of that trip, and you may have a different opinion on this part of it, but
this was
B2S4U.
Yeah, say that again. Well, I always forget it.
B2S4U. Or wait, that's not right. 2BS4U.
Yeah.
2BS4U. 2 beers, 2 shots for you.
For you.
First time I ever threw up cold beer.
Yep. And I think that when we convinced you, we told them it was a tradition that all the new guys, they do it every year. You're not the only one, Dean.
Yeah.
And it's just something Charlie and I kind of came up with.
Go ask anybody. Anybody in this whole space will tell you. Yeah.
Oh, we sold it. There's no doubt about
it.
And Dean's like, I'm not going to be a wussy. I'll do it.
Oh.
And then he did that, but then we said, well, the kicker is you got to drink a beer standing on your head.
Yeah, the second beer is upside down.
Yeah.
So 2 beers, 2 shots. The second one of each is standing on your head.
Yeah. Things we'd come up with. It was probably Charlie instigated everything.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
Because
you probably added a little of the detail because you're kind of a detail guy.
Well, I didn't want to be.
But it was probably Charlie's idea.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a quitter. I went along with him.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some good time. I will never. God, I think this wasn't you. It's a different time. We came home from the wrestling tournament. You weren't with us. It was Charlie.
I only went to
was Monge with us?
Not at the one I went to.
Okay, so the one I remember everything that Dean just spoke about, but we're coming home and Rob and I decided we got to quit chewing. So we said, when we get back, we're quitting chewing. So we chewed like as much as we could on the way home. Oh, no, Jeff Chumley was with us. That's what it was. And then we had a contest. Now, granted, we drank all weekend, woke up, everyone hungover, got on the road, and decided nobody could roll down the windows because individuals were passing gas.
Rolling down windows is for pussies. Leave the windows up.
And we got worse than a freaking Foot Locker. We get all the way to Old Plain Road in Gurnee, right down the street from my house. And Jeff says, pull over. He couldn't take it anymore. It got him sick. He actually puked on the side of the road and Rob and I are high-fiving. Yeah, we did it, dumbasses.
And at that point, you're a mile from home.
Yeah,
you made it all that way.
Yeah. So,
so he's probably got the same perspective, right? There was pizza parts of that weekend that he probably loves.
Oh, yeah.
That's the part he probably hates, but that flipped the coin. That's a part you remember and chuckle about,
He's
right?
been down Granite, with me a bunch of times down there. One year I went down with Frank Bonowitz, Jim Sweetwood, myself, and Rob Macho. And
Stop where you are just for a second. Just gotta say this out loud because every time you got some friends with the coolest fucking names.
yeah,
Like it sounds like a bunch of thugs that just got off the boat from Italy or something. I don't know.
pretty much. Well, Jim Sweetwood we're all rustlers. He was the best behaved out of all of us.
Well, I've been around you guys. Best behaved. It ain't saying much.
Yeah, true. And he was a little bit better than that then. And we're drinking and driving, which we don't promote on this show or anytime. And we're like, come on, what are you doing? He's like, that was a stop sign. I'm like, just go through it, come on, we were going to some college party and we're high schoolers. We're like, ooh, we're gonna
miss it.
Yeah. And sure enough, a freaking police officer, he pulls him over.
Oh no.
And we're stashing the beer cans underneath the seat and all that crap. But so Jim's like, quit it, guys, he's called because he's driving.
Right.
And he gives him his driver's license, and he says, you guys been drinking? No, sir. All that crap. He's polite. And he looks at the driver's license. He goes, is this a fake ID? He goes, no, it's my ID. Well, it's Jim Sweetwood in Wildwood, Illinois. It's, adjacent to Gurnee, Illinois, and right between Grays Lake. He lived on John Mogg Road. And the cop just thought it was a goofy freaking name. And so he had Jim out there and checking his eyes with the thing. And we just started drinking before we're going to go to this party. So everything was good. But Frank, he was our 185 pounder. Violent guy. He likes fighting and everything. We stayed at the Chief and Illini, which I don't even know if it's there anymore. The Divas Motel, not a hotel. Because we're high school, so I couldn't go to my
parents
stay
on our
and
golf
say,
trip.
give me $50 for the road trip. My dad would say, don't go. I'm not giving you money. So we're broke, So I don't even know what it cost, but it was, horrible. And Frank started jumping up and even the ceilings were low in the room, and he'd jump up and punch a hole in the ceiling. So we decided that it was going to be a tradition. Every time we came in the room, everyone's going to punch a hole in the ceiling or the wall.
Oh, my God.
Not a good move, because we have to leave. And
Right. And they're never going to find us.
Right.
They don't know who we are. Yeah.
Not good. Yeah, but I could tell you a lot more of that kind of story, but just dumb shenanigans. One of my best recent road trips, we went up to your summer cabin.
Yeah.
And that's already been, 2 summers ago, right?
Well, yeah, I guess, because it was, COVID was going on, but it was that first summer. So we still didn't really know if it was bad, not bad, whatever. Wisconsin didn't have COVID at the time because they just ignored the shit.
So, because we didn't go last year, right?
No, we didn't go last year.
So it was
Everybody
2 years
was pretty
ago.
shut down.
Went up and I always forget the town. It was like Rose, Wisconsin or something.
The cabin's right outside of Winter.
Okay.
And then the little town we went to for dinner that night is Hayward.
Okay. Beautiful place. And, one thing the whole state of Wisconsin, we see it every time we travel up to Kenosha or Pleasant Prairie. Wisconsin doesn't believe in streetlights.
No.
Even on their tollways, unless it's a big major.
Just at the
overpass.
Interchange, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And man, when we were going out to the sports bars and stuff when we were up there, it was black at night.
It's
like
wicked
black.
dark. Like a new kind of dark, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you had a new nickname, but we decided we liked it, so we
fucked that up.
Back.
You can't say you like a nickname because then it won't stick.
Yeah. But Charlie and I were just talking about that. I think you mentioned on the phone, whatever. But a couple weekends ago, we had you on speakerphone. We called you from Manland or whatever. But I'd like to take another road trip up there for sure. That was a good
Yeah,
time.
that'd be a good one. We should do that before the fall. Maybe right before, or right after the golf trip. We could go there from the golf trip.
Ooh. Well,
Detox for a
I
couple days.
wish
Just
Charlie
drink nothing
would
but Jaeger.
golf. You know?
Yeah, not his thing.
Yeah, I know, but that
Had something to do with putting a fish in a hole or something like that.
Yeah, he likes regular fishing and ice fishing and
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a favorite road trip that I wanted to tell you about because you knew Uncle Buck, right?
Yo, great man.
So I'm 16 years old, and he, my aunt LaRue, my cousin Sean, they're in a conversion van. I don't know where they were coming from, but they were on their way back to Seattle. They had not long before that moved to Seattle. And they come through Wichita and they pick up Dana and I, and we're making the trip with them back.
Right.
And I've only had my license for maybe 6 months, but he's already driven 32 hours from wherever they came from. He's done. He wants somebody else to drive. So I get in the cockpit of the conversion van and he says, okay, 2 things about this. You got to go a little further into the intersection and turn because it's kind of a long vehicle, flat nose kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I hit a couple curbs in town, but we were okay there. His directions to me were, we were in Wichita, Kansas. It says, go to Salina and turn left. Go to Denver, turn right. Go to Cheyenne, turn left, and wake me up from there. Wow. And this is like 2,700 miles away. Like, yeah, I'm going to wake you up from there.
Wow.
But we drove straight through. So 36-hour drive. Stopped to get gas, go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. But just rotated drivers. And the whole way out, there was a part where we're going down the downside of the Rocky Mountains, heading to the other side so on the west side of the mountains. And Sean and I are in the front seat. I'm driving. It's late at night, overnight hours. Sean's 12. I'm 16.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going screaming downhill. And I'm like, I've never done this before. Are you supposed to ride the brake, not ride the brake? So I just kind of let it coast. And we're doing like 70 miles an hour on mountain roads. Just
nuts.
But we got there just fine. And then we pull into their neighborhood and the tire blows.
Oh.
The rim split, cracked, blew. Like, fuck, if that would have happened yesterday, we'd have all been dead in the Rocky Mountains.
Right.
And we're a mile from their house. And I think he even said, we could walk from here.
Wow.
But, I mean, so that's been 30 years ago. And it's still one of the most vivid memories I have. One of the best road trips I've ever been on.
My brother, Dan, and my parents had a cottage up in Portage, Wisconsin, right on the Fox River when we were younger. And, we used to love going up there, man. And the older we got, the more we kind of want to stay home. If mom and dad were going to let us stay home alone and they go, just at the house yourself. But, man, we used to sneak turtles back. And,
turtles?
Yeah. We'd catch turtles and my dad wouldn't allow it, and so we'd sneak, I think we call one spotty and, we do that kind of stuff. Then when I got older and I started having kids, I remember taking Tyler up there when he was 2, 3, whatever it was. Well, TJ wasn't even born yet, and my mom was giving him a bath in the tub, like a steel washing tub right in the front yard.
Oh, like a galvanized pail thing? Yeah.
And I have a picture of my mom doing that, but then I have a picture of my mom did the same thing to me when I was his age, up there.
Just an hour earlier, right?
Yeah. And no, but it's like, wow, Tyler looks so, when we were little, we looked so much alike,
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that tradition. And it sucked because my dad, when he retired, I was just going through a divorce with their mother.
Yeah.
And paying this and paying that. And he's like, I'm selling the cottage. We're going to just stay down in Sun City, Arizona. And I'm like, Dad, could you I can't afford it right now. I'll buy it. I want to buy it.
Yeah.
And
keep it in the family. Yeah.
Yep. And he first offered it to my brother Bill. He said no. My brother Dan, he was in Michigan. He said no. So then I was the third. And I said, yeah, but I can't right now.
You mentioned that last year when we went golfing, you mentioned that where we are in Green Lake. Is that
Yes, it's
In the
not
area
that.
of where your
Yeah,
place is?
Princeton is right kind of down the road from Green Lake, which is 20 minutes from Portage.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I know that area. Growing up,
Yep.
going up there all the time. My dad sold that freaking thing. I mean, it was probably 200 yards plus and back in the woods, right on the Fox River.
Yeah.
He sold it for 40 grand.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
And I'm like, oh my lord. So last time I was up that way for whatever reason, I freaking drove there and I drove down the road, the back and the chain
yep.
wasn't up. So I drove back there and he sold it to a retired Portage like sheriff.
Yeah.
And he came
Get
out.
shot at?
No, not that good a story, right?
Like, and
Uh,
then,
he came out and I introduced myself to him. He says, "Oh, your dad was great," and this and that. I said, "Man," and he did some adjustments, and
yeah.
paint on the cottage and all that stuff. But he goes, "Anytime you want to come up here, just come on up here. We can fish. You can take my boat. It's good old country Wisconsin people,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's pretty cool.
I said, "I tell you what, if you ever want to sell it, I'd like to buy it back,
Yeah.
But and yeah, and a lot of acreage where you could actually hunt. We were never hunters, but
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, but the Green Lake thing's coming up. I'm getting stoked for that. It's right around the corner. Basically 2 months, right?
Yeah. What do we got? The 19th, 21st, or 21st,
Something like
22nd,
that,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah. Right. That weekend in August, third weekend in August.
We
Looking forward to it.
We
Yeah.
had some guys drop out. You have your buddy going up there.
Yeah. Thomas is coming.
Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah, he was cool.
Or you said have some people dropped out. Do we need some people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my rule. As long as they're good guys, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If
And they pay their bill.
not. If you say they're good, they're good. Whatever. Monge and Glenn are a no go.
Oh, that's too bad.
And everybody gets upset when Monge don't go because he's the life of the party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ron and Al are in, so that'll be good. Ron is in Florida. He's coming home the weekend before, and then he's coming
Stay a couple weeks and go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
All right,
Yeah, this is one of the trips.
You guys aren't golfing Kettle Hills because that would be going
No,
past Green Lake.
Is it? Yeah, it's a good 4-hour drive for us.
Yeah.
So we'll leave right around noon on that Thursday.
Yep.
Get there in time when you guys get close to the hotel and go out and have beer that night, and then light it up from there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. We are trying to plan. We're getting older. The research that we've done so far throughout how many years? I mean, Trace and I want to take a trip to South Carolina and look at some property.
Yeah, you think that might be a
I think
retirement place for you, or
we might
place to escape to once in a while? Yeah.
Cheap taxes. The politics is not as bad as North Carolina, but weather. I mean, yeah, it'll drop down to 35 every blue moon in the wintertime, but nothing crazy. One of my friends that retired down there, business friends, I should say, Mr. John Gavin, he's like, man, it's crazy because us Chicago guys, he goes, man, if it drops like 45 degrees, they shut the frickin' town down and schools are closed and, he goes, it'll snow every blue moon, and he goes, you can guarantee the supermarket, they run out of food, people stock up,
And Chicago guys are outside in shorts and a sweatshirt.
The way of life.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Let me ask you, because it's summertime now, kind of getting off subject, but is it me or, because your kids were younger than mine, do they have more off days and holidays and teacher-parent conference that they shut down? I mean, seems like these kids have so many days off. We always went to school.
Yeah. I don't get that feeling here because there's a state law, and it's changed just recently. They used to not start school until the Tuesday after Labor Day. For the last couple years, they'll go like the Thursday, Friday before, but it's basically Labor Day when they start. So that means they go until the first full week of June. So Ethan's only been out of school for 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, because and here I kind of forgot that it's summertime and kids are out of school, but
Yep.
I feel bad for these single parents or even young parents that they kind of went through the last year and a half where homeschooling and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Didn't get much. You hope they're planning big trips. You guys have any big trips planned this summer? You got time for that?
My wife and I,
Yeah.
no. We talked about let's try to get down to South Carolina or over
Mm.
and down or whatever you want to call it. I got the Green Lake trip. I think
Yep.
she's doing a girls' weekend. She's going away um, the weekend after Green Lake. So the last week in August for business. She's going to like New York for a week,
Oh, no kidding.
something
Oh,
like that. So,
training or
and
seminars
I
or
have
some
so
stuff like
much
that.
vacation I can take at work, but if we're not going anywhere, I'm just not
Well, the
gonna.
last time you took a few days off of work, it took you a month to get
Yeah,
things
I
back to
know.
where you wanted
When
it.
we went down to see Ron and Marguerite, it's
Yeah.
always like that.
Yeah. You
But
either work from the golf court or you pay hell when you get back.
and I
And
ain't
which
working
one are you
from.
going to do?
Yeah, I'm not working from the golf cart.
Not, well,
But
not from Green Lake because I wouldn't recommend that.
by the way, Tuesday, Jake from State Farm, Jake Rick, Jake Richards, and
Yep.
Matt Lagoni and I, we shot. It was best ball. We shot a 64, and weren't in the top five.
So
Eight
64 would
under.
be what, like a 8 under? Yeah. And you were not in the top five?
Nope. And
Wow.
we were pretty stoked. We
Feeling
all
pretty good
shot
about
pretty
it, huh?
well. We all
Yeah.
contribute and all that kind of stuff, but nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Best
So
ball, you almost have to birdie every hole. They had a big golf outing here for the Hockey Association. Right, I guess right about this time last year is what I'm thinking. And the team that won it was 19 under.
that's
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. And what I agree or disagree on, whatever, but they allowed you to buy mulligans right when you registered.
Yeah. You have to
So
buy them up front, right?
yeah.
But you had them in your pocket if you need it.
So I don't know if these teams bought like freaking 10 mulligans a piece or something, and I don't know. But we
Well, I think
counted
our group had four, right? Everybody bought one, I think, in our group.
Yeah,
So
well, and this was yeah, but we we don't cheat. We wrote down our scores, and we could have had a couple more birdies, but we didn't.
yeah.
Uh, I'm drawing the ball off my drive now, buddy.
Was that 2 o'clock?
Second base.
Second base. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm drawing it more than I am, but I can't do it every time. It's driving me nuts. So when I get on the tee box, I'm like, okay, am I gonna draw the ball or I'm gonna have my little fade to the right? So I'm torn.
Yeah.
But
And as you drink more,
oh
you whip that sucker out there and
yeah, I had some big balls, and a right hander. If you draw the ball, it goes farther because there's a spin.
Yeah.
You don't lose distance from a fade, or. So it's just,
Right.
and it
How
looks
about
so
that?
damn pretty.
Yeah.
You got me on that video last year at Green Lake.
Yeah. Crushed
You
it.
said
Crushed
any
it.
last words? I said goodbye, ball. And
Yeah.
thank God it was on tape and I hit a good shot. But
Yeah.
I wish I could.
I
do
had,
that
hey,
every
I'm
time.
on that same tape, right? Remember? I had that nice little shot that went that way instead of that way.
Oh yeah. I have some video that next time you got to remind me ahead of time. I got of Ron when I went to Tampa this last April we went, and Ron, he doesn't get mad. He's getting better at golf, believe it or not.
Make him go every year, and he's been going for 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we're down at Tampa, and he's struggling off the tee one hole, and then he's bad second shot, and he's in the sand, and it was a par 5, and so I break out my camera. I'm like, all right, we're in Tampa, and I'm filling him, and he'd hit it, and he was like, motherfucker. Then he'd go to the next one, and he'd hit it again, and he wouldn't get out of the beach. He'd just go longer in the beach because there was some long sand traps, and I'm like,
Yep.
in my commentary, I'm sitting there going, yeah, Ron's parents as a kid never took him to the beach, so He tends to stick
Nice.
around more. He was getting pissed, but
Nice.
good video.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think today was we kind of winged the show a little bit. Just getting
Try to get back in the habit. Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna come back. We got some good ideas, some videos, some other stuff.
One thing we need to add to the website. I know we've talked about it. We know what we're going to do with it. We're going to add a folder on the website that is shorts, shorties, something to that effect. And each time Mike and I just feel a whim, we're recording a little 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute video about whatever's going on at the moment. We'll upload those and you guys can watch them at your leisure.
And
keep a little content out there in between these times where we're down for work or something like that.
We definitely need to put a disclaimer on there because there'll be some times where I might be under the influence a little bit and might be some language.
If it's really dark in the back and there's 30 guys and it's really loud, like from Manland.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Not that I've had that happen.
Did you see my Facebook tweet on your sister today?
I did not. She just had her 50th birthday.
Yeah, yesterday. So I texted her yesterday, happy birthday. This morning she texted back, thank you. And I went on her page and I wrote, Charlie. I said, Charlie, did she ignore your FaceTime like she did mine? And I didn't go back on Facebook, so I don't know if she commented or Charlie commented yet. But
she's learned not to answer FaceTimes, especially when they come around midnight.
Yeah.
From any number from Illinois.
I 1000% agree. But all right, that's all I got.
Awesome. Good to be back at it.
We'll try to stay a little more regular. I hope you feel better, man. Tell Julie I said hey, and we'll talk next time.
All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
You got it.